stars. Right? Stars have own light and heat. These stars having the own light and heat. In the night time, we are seeing so many stars. But those are all looking very teeny or very small objects. One and only the star is in the big size. What is it? Yes, the sun. The sun is looking very big size. So the sun is one of the important planets. The sun is one of the important planet. That means the sun is the star or not? Yes, the sun is also the star. But why the sun is looking very big comparatively the other stars? Because of very nearer to the earth. Nearer to the earth. Nearer to the earth. In that reason, the sun is looking very big size, reminding all those planets because of very far from the earth. This is the difference between the sun and the other stars. The next one, the planets. Planets. It is also one of the natural body in the universe. How many planets we have? 8 planets. Very good. 8 planets. What is called the planet? It is the natural body. Don't have the own light. Don't have the own light. These natural objects depends on the stars. These natural objects depends on the stars. That means which is the natural body? Which is the natural body? Around the stars is called as, here the stars we imagine the sun. The stars we imagine the sun. Which natural objects around the sun is called the planets or the satellites. Which natural objects around the sun is called the planets or the satellites. That means the planets is also called as satellites. But little bit difference between these two later we are discussing. Right? Just that means the satellites and the planets are the same. Both are revolving around the sun on their own path. That means those are not crossing. These are all around their own path. This path is called as orbit. Each and every planet each and every satellite having their own path. According to this, they are around the sun. That's why these planets, which planets are around the sun, those are getting the heat and the light by the sun. By this revolution, these planets are getting the heat and the light from the sun. That means indirectly the planets or the satellites are depending on the stars. That means the sun. depending on the sun. This sun is the main source of energy to all these planets. Here the planets means planets or the natural bodies which is around the sun is called the planets. These planets are getting the heat and light from the sun. That means the sun is the major source of energy of these planets. Right? How many planets we have? Like 8 planets. How many planets we have? 8 planets. What are they? Both 8 planets. What are the planets? First one is Mercury. Second one Venus. Third one Earth. Fourth one Mars. Fifth one Jupiter. Sixth one Saturn. Seventh one Uranus. Eighth one Neptune. How many planets we have? 8 planets. These are, how many planets we have? 8 planets. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. In these 8 planets are classified. These 8 planets are completely consist of rocks, gases and some liquids. Just count. These 8 planets are consist of rocks, gases and liquids. In these 8 planets classified into inner planets. Just inner planets. These 8 planets are classified into inner planets and outer planets. These 8 planets are classified into inner planets and outer planets. Outer planets. Which planets are called as the inner planets and which planets are called as the outer planets? The inner planets which is nearer to the sun. The inner planets which is nearer to the sun. The first 4 are called as the inner planets. The first 4 planets are called as the inner planets. And second 4 planets are called as the outer planets. Second 4 planets are called as the outer planets. Just easily we can understand what are the inner planets and outer planets. First 4 is called as inner planets and second 4 are called as the outer planets. How can these classification? By the distance, which is very nearer to the sun. Which is very nearer to the sun. Which is very nearer to the sun. These are very far from the sun. By the distance we are classifying these inner planets and outer planets. And the inner planets are in the size and shape. Size and shape is less than outer planets. Is less than outer planets. The size and shape is less than the outer planets. Just what are the characters? First of all, very nearer to the sun. Second one, in the size and the shape, the inner planets are less than the outer planets. How many inner planets? 4 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. Outer planets. These all consist of. That means the inner planets are consist of rocks. The inner planets are consist of rocks. Just inner planets are consist of rocks. And the outer planets is very far from the sun, and the outer planets are in the size and shape is bigger than the inner planets. The outer planets in the size and the shape, these are the bigger than the inner planets. And another one, the outer planets are consist of gases and liquid. Gases and liquid. Just you understand. right? These are the rocky rocks. The inner planets are consist of rocks, the outer planets are consist of gases and liquid. These inner planets are nearer to the sun, these outer planets are far from the sun. In the size and the shape, the inner planets are very smaller than the outer planets. This is the information. These inner planets are getting the energy from the sun. Okay, these are the 8 planets. And the important planet is, in these 8 planets, what is Earth? The Earth is very important planet in the total 8 planets. Earth is the important planet and is also the unique planet in the out of 8 planets. The Earth is the unique planet. Right. What are the characteristics of Earth? Just read. The Earth is the living planet. The Earth is living planet. And the Earth is called, why? Because living planet, it is helpful to life. Life is possible here. In that way, the living planet. And another one, it is called the blue planet. Why it is called the blue planet? Because of it is covered by water. Nearly 71% is covered by water. 71% of the earth is covered by the water. In that way, it is called, it is looking very in blue color. It is looking very in blue color. In that reason, the earth is called as the blue planet. Right? And the earth, what is the place of earth in the overall planets? It is in the third place according to the distance from the sun. In the third place, distance from the sun. In the fifth place in the size. Fifth place in the size. Just listen. The earth is in the third place in the distance. Fifth place in the size. Which is the biggest planet in the solar system? Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest planet. And smallest planet is Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet. Just see the picture here in the solar, in the first lesson also. Just this is the picture of the our solar system. This is the sun and remaining all 8 planets. The Mercury is very smallest planet and the Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. The Earth is in the third place, which is the distance, and the size is the fifth place. Right? These are the 8 and the Earth. And another one. The Earth is classified into 3 layers. And what is the shape of the Earth? Is geode. Already we have discussed. Geode. That means in the geode means the earth shape is in the poles. Just here is in the poles. Is completely slightly flattened here. That means the earth is not like this. Just here like this. This is the original shape of the earth. Here something flattened the earth. In the equator equator or middle of the earth just sludge. Just here the earth is bulges. Just bulges. This shape is called as the geode. This shape is called as geode. Generally, we are calling the spherical shape. Right? Spherical shape. This is the shape of the earth. This earth is classified into 4 parts. 4 parts. First one is the lithosphere. Second one is hydrosphere. Third one is atmosphere. Fourth one is biosphere. Fourth one is the biosphere. The lithosphere means which is covered by rocks. Where we are living, this is called as the lithosphere. Which is consist of rocks. It's called the lithosphere. And another one is the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means this is consist of water bodies. Different water bodies we have. Oceans, seas, rivers, ponds, lakes, canals. These are all in the part of hydrosphere. How much area is covered by the water? Nearly 70%. And another one, atmosphere. Atmosphere is consist of, which is the layer surrounded the earth, which is the gases. Which is called gases. The important gases here, the nitrogen and the oxygen and carbon dioxide. Nitrogen nearly 78%. 78% of nitrogen is in the atmosphere, and 21% of atmosphere is called oxygen, and 0.03% is carbon dioxide. Remaining percentage is different type of gases are there. That is argon, neon, crystal, helium. These are all the gases are in the remaining percentages. But important gases are nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, and the carbon dioxide 0.3%. These and another last one is the biosphere. Biosphere means it is the possibility of the life. Bio, it means life. The meaning of bio is life. That means here all the human beings, different type of animals, plants, and the other organisms, and so many microorganisms are living on the earth. These are all in the part of biosphere. That is what we understand, all the living organisms in the part of biosphere. That means the plants and the human beings, microorganisms, organisms, these are all in the part of biosphere. These are all the biosphere. It depends on these other 2 parts, that is the lithosphere, atmosphere, and the hydrosphere. The biosphere is connected with the atmosphere, lithosphere, and the hydrosphere. This is about the earth. This is about the earth. This is called as the realms of the earth or the space of the earth. This is called as the space of the earth or the realms of the earth. Realms of the earth. Right. The picture also given in the textbook in the 7th page. This is the picture. Here the atmosphere, hydrosphere, and the biosphere and the lithosphere. These are all the 4 pages in the earth's surface. Right? This is. Next, in this lesson, satellites. Satellites are the another important celestial bodies in the solar system. The satellites are another celestial bodies, important celestial bodies in the solar system. Already I given the definition of satellites. Satellites. What is called? It is also move around the sun. Just now take look. The satellite is a celestial body that moves around the planets in the same way as the planet move around the sun. The definition of same here. Which is the celestial body that moves around the planets. It moves around the planets. Which celestial bodies are moved around the planets is called satellites. These satellites are depending on the planets. These planets are depending on the stars, sun. Saturn. The planets are moved around the sun. The satellites are moved around the planets. That means the planets are getting the energy from the sun. The satellites are indirectly getting the energy from the planets. That means the planets are depending on the sun. The satellites are depending on the planets. These are move around the planets on their own path. On their own path. This is called the orbit also. This is also called orbit. Every satellite having their own orbit. Continuously those are moving around these satellites. That means the satellites and the planets are both are depending on the sun. But these are in the smaller size. Smaller size. These satellites are classified into two types. How many satellites we have? Two types of satellites. Those are natural satellites, human-made satellites, or artificial satellites. Artificial satellites. Just clearly understand. The satellites are two types. That is the natural satellites and the human-made satellites. Natural satellites means which is formed naturally. That means at the time of origin of universe. These are every planet having the different planets. Except actually how many planets we have? 8 planets. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and the Neptune. Every planet having the satellites. But this is different from one planet to another planet. This is different from one planet to another planet. Take example. The Mercury and Venus have no planets. The Mercury and the Venus have no planets. That means the Mercury and Venus have 0 satellites. Mercury and Venus have 0 satellites. That means remaining all those that the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune having different. The Earth has one and only the satellite is called the Moon. Earth has only one satellite. And discussing about the natural planets, natural satellites. The natural satellites having the Earth is one. And the Mars have the 2 satellites. two satellites. And the Jupiter have 63 satellites. 63 satellites. Jupiters have 63 satellites. Saturn 58 satellites. Saturn 58 satellites. Uranus 27. Uranus 27 and Neptune only one satellite. Sorry, Neptune 13 satellites. Neptune 13 satellites. Just like we call this the natural satellites are around the planets. These are getting the energy from the planets, and these every planet having the satellites except the Mercury and the Venus. The Earth having one planet, one satellite. Sorry, Earth has one satellite. The Mars has two satellites. Jupiter has 63 satellites. Saturn has 58 satellites. Uranus has 27 satellites. The Neptune has 13 satellites. How highest satellites have the Jupiter. Jupiter having highest satellite 63. Second highest having 58 satellites. Second plus 58. Only that has only one planet. It is called the Moon. It is called the Moon. Okay. Later we are discussing about the Moon. And another one, artificial planets. Artificial satellites. Artificial satellites means these are launched by the humans or man-made satellites sent into the space in the particular orbit. Sent into the space in the particular orbit. These are called the artificial satellites. Artificial satellites. Right? The first artificial satellite was launched by the Russia. Which country launched the first satellites? Russia. Which is the first country? Russia is the first country launched the first artificial satellite. Artificial satellite. In which year? 1969. Okay, right. And the second one is America. Second one is America. India launched the first satellite in the year 1975. 1975, which is called as the Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta. Right? Russia's name is Sputnik 1. Sputnik 1 is the first satellite. Sputnik 1 is the first satellite that is launched by the Russia. And second one is the America. Third one is India, launched in the year 1975, which is called as Aryabhatta. He is the great astronomer in the ancient time. The Aryabhatta is the first artificial satellite launched by India with the help of Russia. Remember it, with the help of Russia. Now, how many satellites are launched by the India now? Till today, 390 satellites launched by India. 319 satellites are launched by India till today. Where they are launched? The Sriharikota. It is the island Sriharikota. Where it is located? Where it is located? In Nellore district. Nellore district, which is the island. In the next session, we are discussing about these other information. Okay.